Hey, what's up, guys? This is Joe. There's Josh. Welcome to the Hustle and the Hobby, where we talk about real life events, sports cars, TCG, and the hustle and the hobby, man. You know, the grind that don't stop. So, how we going? Right out the gate. Hey, live, raw, uncut.
Hey,
Get it
nobody
how we
wants
get
to
it,
do
bro.
this. No, nobody wants us to do this.
Yep. Hey, tell them how we started this pod. I think that would be even cool, man. You wanna jump into
Yeah, I
tell them
mean,
who we are or what?
yeah, we could talk about who we are and like how we got to know each other. I guess
That'd be good. I think you say.
you
I
want you
think
want me
you
to go
should.
first?
I think you say
You want me to
hilarious,
go
dude.
first?
Yes. Set the tone.
So what's up, Josh J Cards? A little bit about how I got started into this was as a kid. Had the Pokemon cards, had the Yu-Gi-Oh. Definitely got more into sports as I got a little bit older because my dad always told me that Pokemon stuff was for the nerds. So if I wanted to get the girls or anything, I had to go into the sports. But I, I mean, I got away from it when I started joining the military, so it was a little bit harder to get into it. But then during COVID, I got sent to go help out in like a nursing facility. And I mean, they had us quarantined for like 2 weeks and just sitting in a hotel room. I couldn't do anything. Like it was just literally watching TV and doing push-ups on the floor. Like that was it. So then I started getting into like watching YouTube and like streamers and stuff. And there was this one dude who was literally just opening up Pokemon cards. And it was like, I want to say it was Pokemon Evolutions or something. It was like just a reprint of the original stuff back in the 90s. I was like, oh, dude, that's pretty cool. Like, let me go ahead and get these. So I started recollecting Pokemon and then I got my wife into it. So now both of us are doing it. And then I was like, you know what? I miss collecting the sports cards. So then I got back into collecting sports cards again. I started doing football, started doing hockey, started doing baseball. And then real life happened once again. Had a kid, had to start getting away from it, had to get a job because I was just going to school at the time. So it kind of put collecting back on the back burner. But then we ended up moving to Fresno when my kid was born because that's where my wife's family was at. My family's spread all over the place. So it made sense to come here. And then we started working together. So that's how we started. That's how we met. Got a job working with you. At first, I think we hated each other. You saw me as the help, and you thought you were better. But then somehow you got moved into where I was working at, and then all of a sudden we became like best friends. We started doing reselling. We started collecting, and then one day, just out of nowhere, I think both of us were like, "Dude, let's create a card show and let's take this to the next level." Like, and then after that, it just like escalated into, I mean, we're already doing all this. Let's do a podcast.
Yep. Facts. I did see that. I did see Josh as the help at the time. And we both did hate each other. We always bickered,
Yep.
but and then the day they put us next to each other and we just became friends and business
The rest was
partners and
history.
rest is history.
Yep.
Jokes on them, right?
Yeah, ultimately, because now they're going to lose two of us.
All right.
But it
But
is what it is.
fun fact, we still sit by each other, but I think time is limited. I think they're
Yeah,
going to end up moving us.
they're tired of us. They want us out of there.
Yeah. But hey, man, I can't keep two men down, man, that are bond to the hip now,
Yep.
But a little bit about myself, man. I'm Joseph, but everyone probably knows me as Josie's Collectibles. I didn't get into the TCG stuff. That was more of my younger siblings. I was a little older than them, so I think about like around 99, 2000s, I started getting into the world, man, being a high schooler. Got it like kind of like Josh, man, just got into girls. These sports cards just got to the side, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
man, dude, these attract men. I want to attract girls.
Yeah. Why do I want to go
So,
get a guy to sign my cards? You know what I mean?
well, I'm wearing a guy's jersey. Yeah, right. And then I don't know, man. I got into football, basketball, baseball, and then when I got older, I just honed down into football. Found like that was the sport I liked the most, And then,
Mhm.
like Josh said, and then one day I was like, dude, I'm gonna start reselling on eBay. And then he started it, and I started it, and then next you know it, dude, we turned into a resell. Well, I'm speak for myself, a low end reselling business into a big old trading show now. It's not huge, but
Yeah.
I'm saying big because it's going to be big. And I think we both wanted to do a podcast, and better yet, instead of doing individual, we're like, bro, chemistry is really on
We
point.
should
Why
do
don't
it
let's
together.
just get together and, you know, and do another podcast.
Yep.
Or, I like it, man. I enjoy it. I mean, it's our first episode.
Yeah.
I mean, many more. I mean, we're going to get better.
We're
I
gonna
know.
be yeah, it's probably a little awkward right now,
I
but
know
it
it's a
is
little
what it
awkward.
is.
I know my background don't match. You got religion to the sports. Hey, man, I'm using the space I got right now. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
know,
I mean, you got my kid's bed behind me, so
we're working what we got here.
yep.
I
Yep.
always use my boy Josh's joke. You don't have no editors until we can pay for some. That's when we're gonna start editing.
Yeah. Then it'll be like I'll be sitting in a nice room. I'll have like some sound padding up. We'll make it nice. We'll make it nice.
Hey, going back to your collecting on sports, was there like a particular player or team or like genre of like basketball, baseball?
I was more into
What was
football
that
just
car?
because
Well,
yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it was definitely football. Just because that's what I played more. Like growing up, I played football and baseball. I did wrestling too, but I mean, unless you wanted WWE cards, you weren't getting like wrestling cards.
nah, that's
Probably the card that I always thought for some reason was like super valuable was I had a John Elway rookie and stars card, and I didn't understand like sets and stuff like that. So I just saw rookie on there, and I thought this was a John Elway rookie card. So I'm like, oh, this is valuable. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna put it in my back pocket, and we'll leave it. And then I found it recently when I was going through my garage looking for stuff. I was like, oh, this isn't anything. Like it was like 1996. He's been in the league for like 11 years. Like what am I thinking? But yeah, I was definitely more into football. And then as I got older, I started watching hockey and going to
yeah.
the games. So it got like that that side came out, and that's when I started collecting hockey as well. And then baseball, like baseball was always a thing. And I'm glad I got into collecting that again when I did, because then I had some of those Otani
Yep.
rookies that I sent in.
Dude, you
So,
stumbled across those on accident, dude.
dude, I was like, wait a minute, I think I have some of this guy's stuff in there. But what about you?
For me, I was into football heavily, and I'm a 49er fan,
Hmm.
so I just chased all the Niners, regardless if it was. I didn't understand back then it was base. Like I don't remember there was any. I think everything was base, right? And then it was
Yeah,
like the
you just had different
Tiffany's,
companies that made. Yeah,
yeah. And then the chase card, they only had one. There wasn't like now where there's like you get the in purple and pink, and it was just one card. You just chase and you got it, and it was done. And then you put it
yep,
in your binder. But I was, dude, a heavy, and probably still am a Jerry Rice collector. I
that's
always,
expensive.
dude, very expensive now. And I'm glad I got the cards that I got. I mean, they're all beat up. They're my younger card when I was a kid. They're just thrashed, dude.
Hmm.
But other than that, it's just, it was good, And then then I got into basketball, and then Kobe started coming
Yep,
along. And then I got all hit Kobe. I was chasing all Kobe rookie cards, dude. And then
the Jordan.
pass those up, dude. Well, because Jordan was starting to get out of the league, 96,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
he was trying his
Kobe,
baseball career out, I think, at that time.
yep, and then baseball was like the lowest, and I just chased like the Barry Bonds, the King Griffey's,
Hmm.
the guys I grew up watching. But and then for the TCG side, like I said, man, I didn't grasp at that point. I was kind of just out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember my brothers, man, coming home with the TCG, a Charizard and stuff. I was like, "What is this?" You know what I mean? They're playing the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, they actually played it?
Yeah, they
Dude,
played it. I didn't understand it,
I
but at that point, I was gone.
dude, even when it came out, I didn't understand it. Like, I know I didn't play it correctly.
I don't know if they played it correctly, but I remember the young neighborhood kids are coming to the house and playing with my brothers and stuff, dude.
Hmm.
And then he had the Charizards and all that stuff. But at the time, I just remember that one that's like the Grail one that everyone chased at one point during COVID. I just remember that one. And then the guy with like 6 hands. And then I
6.
think it was like he was
Oh,
blue like a
Machamp?
Yeah, champ.
Machamp?
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
and Ninetales. Dang, I knew a lot. Yeah,
Ninetales was
Ninetales, yeah,
dang, look
yep.
at you. You're a TCG guy. I'm telling you, you're a TCG guy.
I don't know, man.
You don't
Hey,
want
they
to
got
admit
cool
it.
cards. They got cool cards, I ain't gonna lie. Don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know. Did you get into, the TCG like, did you get into anything, like, did you get into Magic and, like, Lorcana and then Riftbound, and then you have all these other ones now?
Yeah. Well, like when I was little, like I said, it was Pokemon, and then I had ADHD pretty bad when I was a kid. So like my parents would buy like a pack of like either Digimon cards or Pokemon cards and give it to the teacher. And then if I was like good in class for the week, they would give me that pack as like my reward. So I always
Oh,
had Pokemon cards and I had Digimon cards. Like I said, I didn't know how to play it. Like me and my brother would just throw it down and we'd be like, well, I'm going to do this move and it kills your guy. And that's it. And then we kind of got out of Pokemon a little bit. We started with like, we played the video games because obviously me and my brother, we would just play against each other and then try to beat one another at the game. And then I remember going when I was in like seventh or eighth grade to a baseball tournament in San Bernardino. And one of my buddies came with me and he's like, dude, did you bring your Yu-Gi-Oh deck? And I was like, what is Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know what this is. And he's like, dude, it's a new card game that you gotta play. So he like gave me all of his crappy cards that he didn't need to like help me build a deck. And we got there and I just got whooped by everybody because number one, I don't know how to play the game. Number two, all my cards suck. And then at that point, I was like, well, I don't want to get whooped anymore. So I started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, but it didn't really stick. Then I got back into Pokemon again, like I said, when I was in the military. Got out of the military, kind of put everything aside. And then when we actually started working, one of our coworkers was like, dude, have you played Lorcana? And I was like, what is Lorcana? And that's when
yeah.
he's like, it's a Disney game. It's a Disney card game. And I was like, well, my wife likes Disney, so maybe we can collect the cards and play me and her, which we ended up doing. And then in Fresno, I mean, the scenes, it died a lot, but now I guess it's coming back at certain areas, but we haven't really stayed with it. One of the guys that I met playing Lorcana, though, he was like, dude, this new game's coming out. It's a League of Legends game called Riftbound. And then I got into that one when it came out, went to a couple of the big tournaments. But with all this stuff, like being a dad, work a full-time job, trying to do the reselling, now doing podcasts and a business, there's no time for it at all. So that stuff's kind of just went to the wayside.
Your time becomes very valuable, and then you pick and choose where you're gonna spend it.
Yep. Yeah, it becomes difficult. Like definitely time management is a huge factor as you get older.
Yeah. Dude, the person you mentioned, our coworker, I remember got into Lorcana. He told me about it because he knew I was doing the reselling,
Mm.
and he told me about Elsa. And I guess that was I was like, what is this? He's like, that's the Charizard. I just knew Charizard. And I was like,
Mm.
and then I remember looking at eBay with him at work on our phone. And I go, dude,
Mm.
this is like 1,500. We're too late, dude. This is done. This is
Yeah, you're already done. Yeah,
this
it's
is
already too fast.
the cheapest it's gonna be, dude. And that was like ungraded at the time. I remember
Yeah, and
seeing that.
I think around that was like the third set in too. That wasn't like it because that card came out in the first set, and we were already in the third set, and it was still that much. So it
Yep.
was crazy.
I remember him saying that was a Charizard. Hey man, that's crazy. What you want to
Dude,
talk
they
about?
still have cards like that.
I bet. Like those promos.
There's like a Buzz
Sometimes
Lightyear that's like $3,000.
I remember the last promo when I was searching. It was Lilo. I guess it was a promo.
Hmm.
Like I guess it was a tournament, and I was like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, Disney's pretty cool. And then you got Topps Disney. You know, I wonder if the guys that
Yep.
collect Topps Disney collects your Lorcana. I never see that. Like those big guys.
I don't know. I always,
But
well, I mean, we've had this debate. Is Topps Disney a TCG or is it like a sports collector?
well, I would say the sports collector because it's TCG. Topps makes it.
Yeah, I think ultimately, if like we'd have to break it down because it's a trading card game, and Topps Disney isn't a game. It's just collect the cards. There's no way to play a game out of it. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So I think you would consider it more into that sports section.
Yeah, I would assume I'll throw it in with the Marvel and the DC comic cards.
Yeah,
I
stuff like
in
that.
that tier, the non-sports like the movies,
The Deadpools.
the Green Lantern, that I know right now
Hmm.
that Bruce Lee is like hot, dude. Everyone's
Yep.
chasing that Bruce Lee right now.
Yep.
Uh, And then I was chasing non-sports those Fred Flintstones because your boy Gary V.
You gonna get the V friends? Getting V friends?
I don't know, man. I mean, everything that dude touches ends up being big, dude. Or I don't know. I doubt it because I don't collect any of the other stuff, but it's just whatever Gary V mentions or pumps, dude, it just goes out,
Hmm.
dude. You know, that's when I know he's into it because he's advertising it.
Yep.
But
Well, it's his product, so he's better be advertising it.
well, Steve Aoki has one that nobody really talks about,
Yeah, I can't even tell you what the name is, and I
and
know
then
I've looked it up.
yeah, I thought Logan Paul had one too, like Zoo Friends or something like that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, they all got one. It's a matter of time that the hobby circuit gets one.
But yeah, we're gonna make our own.
Yeah, I mean that's a good segue. You want to talk about the hobby circuit and what's going on?
Yeah. So I mean, the Hobby Circuit is our card show. That's the name of it. We're the Hobby Circuit card show and convention, I guess you could say. Kind of the reason why we decided to go into it is as we've been collectors and resellers, we go to a lot of the stores around here, especially sports stores for both of us. For me, I go to the TCG shops and whatnot, but you always get the sports guys into these stores and they'll be like, dude, I went to this card show and there was no sports vendors. And the ones that were there, they were pushing back like they didn't even care about it. So after sitting there listening for, I don't know how many times, like probably a solid 10 to 20 conversations of that alone, we were like, dude, let's just make our own card show. We'll split it up. We'll do one sports only show and we'll do TC on the other end. And then once we kind of got that idea of, well, what would it take to do that? Then we just kind of hit the ground running. We became an LLC. We got like our own like bank account for the business. We got venues already set up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would say the hardest part is getting vendors. I don't know if it's like the time of the year because we're brand new to this. I don't know if it's because there's so many other card shows going on at this time, but or maybe it's just how far away the show is. I mean, it's July right now, and our card show's at the end of September. But
Yeah,
it's just everybody seems down for it. Everybody's
mhm.
like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. But it's just, I guess, a lot of people are like, let me check my schedule, let me see this, let me see that. But I think they're gonna come through. I believe in them,
Is there
especially the sports,
is there a
because they're the ones
particular?
that have been like,
No, you answer my
yeah,
question.
they're the ones that have been saying that they want something like this, that they're tired of being being relegated to the back of these shows, especially because they say, like, I don't know, I can't speak on shows everywhere else, but at least in Fresno, you go to some of these shows, it's like 70-80% of the booths are all TCG. And then
Mm-hmm.
you probably got like another 10% that are both, and then the rest is all sports.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
guess right now we're going to see if they show out.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see, man. I think
Yep.
just piggyback on what you said. I find now I'm crossing over to the TCG, like it or not. I'm in that business, and I respect them. And one thing about that community, man, dude, they represent and they back up their people, bro. They come in like numbers,
Yep.
and finding the difficulties of the sports and separating the TCG is that like the odds of the vendors is like 5 to 10, dude. You got one
Yep.
sports guide versus 10 TCG guys, and it is crazy. The numbers have like shifted, and also I think it also does. It has to do with the age gap too. If you notice,
Yeah.
like people that do run their card show, I mean, excuse me, card shops, they're like a lot older than us, Josh, and we're like in our late 20s, early like late 30s, dude. I'm 39 to be exact. And
I'm in my mid 30s,
mid
34,
30s,
almost 35.
yeah.
Yeah.
And these guys are like, just eyeballing them in their 50s, and then their kid,
Probably late
yeah,
40s. Yeah.
yeah, and their kid is not even into sports, dude. They're into the TCG. you
Yeah.
know? So it,
Yeah, a lot of the sports ones around here are converting into being both just to, like, try to drive traffic in.
mhm. as the as the as a business owner of a shop, you'd be dumb if you're not, if you want to stay open or irrelevant.
Yep. Yeah.
And you can tell too from some of the business shops that were 100% sports and they're getting into TCG but not fully committed. They're getting the wrong sets, dude. I noticed that.
Yeah. You'll get people that come in and be like, "Hey, you got this?" And they'll be like, "No, but I got this." And, "Nah, I don't want that." And then they'll just
Yep.
leave.
And that's what I'm learning about these sets, dude. And I'm like, yeah, this is the wrong set. This is not this. It's gonna stay there, dude. They're like, we got
So
it because our rep sold it for dirt cheap, and there's a reason why. You
yeah,
know?
what dude, Pokemon alone is like you got people fighting over it.
Yep.
And you think you're gonna get something cheap that's gonna sell? Like you
Man.
got somebody swindled you. That they love the sports shops. They're like, we're gonna give them all of our product we don't want.
Yep. And then and they ate it up, bro.
Yep.
But you know, that's that's it. The grind and the hustle. You know,
Hmm.
our first show is September 20th, so it's going to be in Clovis, California, and that is on a Sunday. That's all sports, so you guys can always catch us at any local card shop or any sports show or TCG show. We go to them.
Yep.
We don't have no hobby circuit gear, but I'm sure once you see our faces and stuff, you'll start recognizing us. Sometimes we're together, sometimes we're busy. We're we're both busy and we divide and conquer. You know,
Yep.
I think we're gonna be out. We're gonna be at some trade show or trade night show. I can't remember, Josh, this weekend. You know,
It's like a no, it's like an actual show, I think, but
show,
it's
right?
within a yeah, it's within a shop. So they only
Yeah,
have like 20 vendors, I think.
yeah. So it's a lot of vendors. I mean, for a small shop, I've been in there. They're cool
Mhm.
enough to let me hang up a sports, one more sports promoting
Mhm.
posters, flyers. And that's one thing about I noticed too about the TCG. They're cool. They're cool about cross promoting, even though they're
Yeah.
100% TCG shop. You
Mhm.
know, I'm sure they
Yeah. You
realize
got
like
some sports that are like, don't
anti,
bring that
dude.
in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't bring that in here. Nope, nope. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, some of these card collectors are 50% sports and 50% TCG. And I think learning the hobby of like what people like and stuff, because in the day we're resellers, right? The difference between TCG cards and sports cards is that TCG cards you can actually interact with the card.
Yeah.
Once you get a
Like there's
sports
more
card,
to it than just looking at it. Yeah.
yep. Once you get a sports card, just like you said, look at it, put it in my binder, put it in my top loader, and put it in my Zion case, and I ain't seeing it again.
Or dude, you could spend $80 to get it graded.
Yep. That's another story.
Yeah. That's a whole nother scam.
Yep. I think grading is a scam. I know we should come up with our own grading company, dude.
We're going to call it JJ grading.
JJ eyeballing it, eagle eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks all centered from here.
Yeah. I think I see a little dent right here.
Yep. But
But
that's it, man. That's the hustle in this, man. But yeah, first show, it is very eye opening to be transparent, man. What we know now, I think I'll speak for Josh. We should have started with TCG first, man.
think it would have
So
been easier. I definitely think it
yes,
would have been easier.
but
But
then
I kind of
I
feel
I'm
I kind
glad
of
that
feel happy that we started with the hard one.
yes, I did. Or excuse me, yes, we do. Because if imagine if we started with TCG and that was
Mhm.
going to be a turnout, and then we get to their second
Mhm.
show, which is sports, and so I don't want to, it's a flop
It's a
kind of
bust or
narrative.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause we're gonna be like, oh man, but yeah,
Well, because
dude,
then we'll probably start thinking like, is it something that we like? Did we do something wrong? I don't know. I'm pretty positive both shows are going to be
yeah,
pretty decent.
I know, some of the vendors will probably listen to this from both sides. That we had questions about catering. We're gonna have food there,
Mhm.
DJ. We're gonna have raffles. Do you want to
Yep.
talk about the raffles we're gonna have?
Yeah. I mean, so for sure we have a few prizes, few like signed sports memorabilia. We got like a vendor only raffle that we're gonna do for a Zion case, and then we're hoping because we've already gotten quite a few sponsors for this stuff. We're hoping that they might go ahead and donate some stuff for some free giveaways for everybody who just attends the show. But as of right now, that's how we're doing it for prizing or for raffles, I guess you could say.
And mind you guys, this is our first show, so we're just gonna get better and grow and learn and
Yep.
pivot. It's all about pivoting,
Yeah.
man, and it's all about adjusting. It's all about learning. Is it gonna be perfect? No, man, it's not. I'll be scared if it was. I'll be like, man, this
Yep.
can't be that easy, man. And you
I
want to
think
tell
the
the fans
hardest
that?
I think the hardest part of all of this is the first show. I didn't know how much money goes into this. And like cuz it's all money up front from us, like each of us. It's not like we already have all these other shows and all this that we got the money from those shows to just kind of put forward to the next show. So I think that that'll be interesting. I think especially for the people who end up watching more of our episodes as we go more in depth into the hobby circuit and everything that came with that, and like getting an agent, getting the licensing, getting the seller's permits for everything. Like if we end up trademarking stuff, I don't
The
think people
insurance.
understand. Yeah. I don't think people, other than other people who obviously run card shows, or maybe even some of the vendors asking the people who run the shows like about these type of things, but I didn't fully understand how much money actually goes into this stuff. And I
Yep.
think that was the hardest part.
I think, yeah, I can totally agree with you on that. I think and then on top of that, getting the business running and then booking the show simultaneously and the money from that. But we got to start somewhere, and we had to move fast. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, we're
I
just
honestly think if we would have waited, and then if we would have, collect money first, I
we
think we'll still be on the sideline, dude.
yeah. Well, honestly, I think if we waited, this wouldn't probably have happened. We would have found reasons to like say, well, no, let's make sure we get this done first. Like, let's do like I think the fact that we moved so fast into this, like, kind of catapulted us into actually doing it.
Man, definitely. Definitely, dude. I think it kind of benefited us. I think when the pressure was on, I think we pivoted accordingly and we adjusted
Mhm.
accordingly and we went through. There's times where I was like, Josh, tell me we're gonna be okay, dude. Just lie to me. I don't care right now.
Dude, I had to mop up your tears when you were just crying in the corner. I
Dude,
was like,
definitely.
"Don't worry, dude. We got this. We got this."
I'm pushing the numbers. You know? And then
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, I think, we're good as a team and I think,
Mhm.
dude, I couldn't partner with anybody better, dude. You totally
Yeah.
totally different from me, dude. I think, I can, I'm more of like conservative side. Like, hey, yo, I think we should. My boy just pushed me off the cliff, and I'm like, man, it didn't hurt that much.
I'm like, "Dude, we gotta do this. We gotta get like, we gotta get all this stuff going."
You know what? And I think if we would have just dragged our feet, and we would have, dude, our next show would probably been summer next year, dude. Literally,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
So,
everyone else was
yeah.
eating those dates up, and everyone was, moving along. And the one thing about starting a business and in the genre that we're in as well, is like it moves quick, dude.
Yeah, it does.
It moves fast. It's like volatile, dude. It's like Bitcoin or something. It's just going and going, and you're like, man, this is crazy. But
Yeah, especially
is
since, like, the location that we got, it's there was no Saturdays available. It's all Sundays. Like,
Mhm.
all the
Yeah,
Saturdays are booked for other card shows. So it's like, yeah, when you say
or
it really does. Yeah. Or yeah.
yeah,
So,
and also too, we kind of live in Josh and I are coming from like bigger cities, so this is kind of like a small city compared to like down south in San Diego and Los Angeles. So like the venues, everyone's running that same circuit of the venue.
yep.
Just what venue now? What venue now? But yeah, I think so the hobby circuit, we're right now we're based out of Fresno and Clovis, California. Eventually, we want to start doing a circuit and start
Yep.
going up north and go back down south, and then maybe different states. Who knows?
Yeah. See where it
Um,
goes.
yeah, see where it goes, and maybe we can. we have a lot of options. We have a lot of options, and we have a lot of deals on the table. Basically, that I think the only way this company won't grow is two things. It's us, number one, and then obviously the financial part. But
Yeah.
I think we're like Josh said, we've got no angel investor. It's just us. It's
Yep.
just selling our cards on eBay and selling our cards to shops, and then our 9 to 5s, and then whatever we're doing. um,
Yep.
You know, but I think it's going, man. I can't complain. It moved fast throughout work too, dude. Like, what? How do these people know this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we were being low key incognito about it, and
Yeah. We were like, I don't know if I want people around here to know about this just yet.
yeah, yeah,
And
right.
then we got people like, oh, I could make coasters.
Dude, I got the freaking site manager saying, "Hey, what about the hobby circles on honest?"
Yeah. Hey, when's tickets available?
Right? But it's cool though. You can't stay quiet forever. And then Instagram.
Mm,
We
yeah.
got our social media marketing team, aka Josh. Josh is, dude's on it, man.
As you got to
Dude,
put in
one
the work. You got to put in the work.
dude, I meet people, and they're like, "Yeah, you DM me." I go, "I did," and then I go and look, dude. There's a whole
They're already signed up for the show.
dude. I try not to mess up the deal, so I don't know what deals we had. So I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I go, "Just message that thread. They'll get back to you."
Yeah, we got our whole social media team back at our
I,
office. They'll handle it.
dude, I went to a car show in Sanger, and
Hmm.
a booth comes up to us, and they asked me a million questions, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, "Yeah, in the DMs you said this and you said that." I go, "I did," and I looked, dude, there's a mean old thread, dude. I was like, I was like, "Oh man." I played it off. I was like, "Oh, we got a social media team." I go, "But just DM that thread again, dude." I go, "They'll
Yeah.
get back to you."
Or just hit the website. They'll see it. They'll see it.
Yeah, dude, you took the reins on that, man. I was impressed. I was like, "Man, dude, Josh." Yeah, I was like, "Cool." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Well, I
it's
mean,
like
that's like it's how you get people. Because to me, I feel like yeah, you can't have a card show. I guess you could say they go hand in hand, right? Like you need vendors and then you need people who come and you need both of those to have a card show. But I think no matter what, the vendors are the first priority because what are the people going to come stand in an empty room and just stare at each other? Like you need people there to buy the cards.
I
So
agree.
if we could get the vendors there, we can show them love and like make it to where they want to be there. Their their clientele that already knows them will come and see the show, and then other people's clientele will come and see them, and then it grows from there. So
Yep.
I definitely think getting the vendors was like the main priority of what we needed to do after we booked the the room.
Yep. How I look at the vineyard, the vendors, excuse me. I look at them as like they're the athletes, dude.
Yep.
Without them, there is no show, man. Without the
Yep.
vendors, there is no show. There is no hobby circuit. There is no fanatics. There's no West Coast card show. There is no national, and the
Mm,
house follows, I think
mm,
the vendors they make the show, man, you know, with the inventory they bring and
yep.
with their popularity they bring and their little fan base, because, people like to have fun, especially with cool people. I think
Yep.
that's a plus,
Like
you know. You see any, you want to shout out your eBay store, Josh?
yeah, I guess you can
You
go
don't
to
have
J
to. You want
Cards
to.
47. No, it's okay. J Cards 47 on eBay. I guess you could. Are we even plugging it on this? Are we plugging it on this Instagram? Like how?
Yeah,
Or like I don't
dude.
even know.
We need people to buy your cards because that's what funds this business.
Well, it's because I got all the Pokemon stuff. You need to get those downtowns. You need to
Yeah,
get
didn't know in my luck I'll buy a fake. We're like, damn.
them too.
But other than that, man, and then what else? Anything you want to chat before we take off on our first episode? I hope we did good.
Yeah, I think we rambled on quite a few things, but it is what it is. Like I said, first episode.
First
Um,
episode, dude.
I I think we can talk about like what that people can expect from us going forward with our other episodes, and hopefully as we get better at this. Definitely, I know we want to talk about like sports news, anything that's happened that's crazy or we feel that we could talk about, especially since a lot of sports card value is driven by things that happen in sports. Like that's pretty much everything that drive, unless they're retired, and that's a whole different story. But for modern player, like modern cards and players that are playing right now, sports news is what drives prices on cards. We'll definitely talk about
Yep.
TCG, especially since you're the TCG guy. Like we'll let you talk about it. We could talk about like the market trends that we see. I know I do a decent amount of research into like what to buy, what not to buy, what to hold, what to try to send off to get graded whenever it's not like 80, $90 per card. And then definitely we'll talk more about the hobby circuit and like the journey of that, how shows go, some of the good, the bad, the ugly, other aspects on as we grow, like what things are difficult, what things are easy, and just more so into the whole business side of it. I mean, that's our whole podcast is the hobby, but also the hustle that comes with the hobby, with reselling and with doing card show business.
Totally agree, man. Couldn't say any better, man.
Yep.
Totally can't. Again, this is our first episode. It's just gonna get. It's gonna get better. It's gonna
Hopefully,
hopefully,
hopefully.
right? We'll be more organized.
Yeah. If we get worse, I'm gonna say, all right, dude, we just stop. We'll quit while we're ahead.
Well, the backstory is we're supposed to do this in a couple of days to be prepared, but my boy said, "Dude, let's do it today." And I was like, "Let's do it."
It's
And I
just
was
that's
scrambling.
how everything else has been. It's like, hey,
Uh,
well, let's do it. Why do it in a couple of days? Let's do it
Why,
now.
why,
Let's get
why
it done.
test run? We just do it in a live environment. But
I like it. We don't need no
right?
sandbox.
We don't need no sandbox. We just open this ransomware right here. But all right, brother. Well,
All right.
the night is late here, and you got to wake up very early.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Hey,
All right.
all right, guys. We'll see you guys soon. If you guys see us around, come up to us, say what's up. Give us your ideas.
Also, you guys can you could do like reviews and stuff on this, can't you? You could leave like
Yeah,
what you want us to talk about, like if there's anything specific that you want with cards, business, or anything like that. Just leave a review. We'll see it. We'll get to it. I'm sure. I'm sure we'll have
no,
plenty of time for stuff to talk about on here. So,
I'm sure, and then we're probably gonna laugh at
yep.
all the negative comments and joke,
They'll be like, "Why are these guys even doing this, man? All these unks in here trying to start a podcast."
right? Hey, man, why not?
Right.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon, man.
All right.
All
See
right,
ya
later.
later.